Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm Chuck Rogers, licensed professional counselor and licensed marriage and family therapist.
And I'm Keith Dunn, and I am a network engineer.
And together we're Tabletop Coffee.
Yeah, where we are bold and never, ever bitter.
And tonight we're talking about marriage is not 50-50, says Brene Brown. Stay tuned and we'll talk about it. We'll see if she's right. So, dude, we are in our temporary studio.
It's very, well, maybe very temporary. I'm not sure how temporary it is.
Depends on how long it takes for a contractor to
get the job done.
Finish out our new digs, right?
Yeah, I tell you, it's gonna be awesome too.
It really is.
Yeah, it's gonna feel nice and warm and cozy.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna paint it brown.
Yeah, but Brene Brown. That's what we're gonna do.
That was really bad.
Yeah, but we are talking about her tonight.
We are.
A little bit. And man, I tell you what, when you were talking about marriage is not 50-50.
Yeah, Wolfgang, one of my great residents, who's a marriage expert, who's like a podcast king, is always just sending me stuff. And
yeah.
He recently sent this one thing to me with Brene Brown.
Right.
Where she was talking about marriage is not 50-50. And you and I have watched it a couple different times now. What do you think?
Right.
Everyone says marriage should be 50-50. It's never 50-50. So if Steve comes home and he'll be like, I got 20. Just energy, investment, kindness, patience. I'm at 20. And I'll be like, I'll cover you. I'll pull the 80.
Have to agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think marriage is not 50-50.
Yeah.
Even if you go into it thinking that, you're each going to split things up evenly as you go through, it really doesn't have anything to do with that.
No, it doesn't. It preaches well. It sounds nice. Hey, I'll bring my 50. You bring your 50, and we'll together be 100. And it'll be really good.
But what happens when one of you comes home after a hard day at work and you're just spent and you're saying, I just can't do it tonight. I don't want to cook anything. I don't want to do anything. So how do you get around that?
Yeah. And she gave some examples in her podcast where she was talking about how she and her husband actually give it numbers.
I know.
Hey, I have 20 to give tonight. And then her husband said, I may give 20. She says, good, I got you covered. I can take care of the other 80.
That's right.
That's great.
Yeah.
But her thing was, what if her husband comes home and says, I got 25, and she says, I have 10.
Then you're sitting there and thinking, okay, how are we going to work this out?
Right. And she said, then they sit down and decide how they're going to move forward and do this without hurting one another.
Yeah, that's right.
So her point was very well taken, and I think I've done that with Kim.
Right.
We've never given it numbers like that.
No,
but I think it's not a bad idea to do it.
I think it's a great idea, and I'm going to try that with Lisa. But I think, I look back at our marriage years, because we've been married for a long time, and I think of all the times that, especially when the kids were young, and I would go home, and she was a stay-at-home mom, and she would be, and that's a full-time job.
It really is.
Plus some.
It is.
And I'd go home and she would just be, ready to climb the walls because it's tough. And she's stuck in the house and you can't do but so much, especially when the kids are really, really small.
It's really different.
And I loved being with the kids when I got off work. Mm-hmm. So it didn't matter if she was a 5. She could have been a 5 and I'd be a 95 for the night.
I can handle this.
Yeah, I can take care of everything else. You go do something that you want to do. Mm. And there are many times that she has done that for me. When I have just a crazy day at work, go home, I never gave her a number, but there are times when I'll walk in the door and just say, I've got to decompress. I just need 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, rest of the night, whatever it may be. And she would be understanding with that because she would know that, things can be difficult at work. But I think it's true. I like the idea of numbers.
Yeah, it is. I think it's okay to say, hey, where are you tonight?
Yeah, exactly. Where are you tonight?
Yeah. Now, the other part of this is that when your number is low,
right,
you need to give it a voice.
Okay.
And just today, this happened just in my office today, I had a lady with whom I was working. I usually see her and her husband together. It's been quite a while.
Okay.
And she comes in and begins to talk about what needs in her life aren't being met.
Okay.
And then we begin to talk through it. And I said, then when that happened, what did you do? And her reply was, well, I just went through and didn't say anything.
Okay.
And so then I began to talk to her about, you have to believe you have a voice, believe you can use it, then use it and make those needs known.
Okay.
And she said, I'm fearful. I'm fearful that if I do that, I'll be rejected.
Sure.
So then I said, so it really is bad where you are, but you're fearful that if you're rejected, it'll be even worse. And so therefore, you stay where you are.
Exactly.
I said, this is the whole thing about bad breath is better than no breath at all. I'll take what I can get. And so you have a choice to stay here,
Right.
or you have a choice to use your voice, make your request known about what you need, and let the other person react to that. Now, prior to that, this morning, I was talking with another lady. This was a virtual appointment, and her words were, I want my husband to be aware.
Oh, okay.
And my reply to her was, then you will be disappointed. And he will be disappointed because you have an idea about what awareness is.
That's right.
He likely has an idea about what awareness is. So the real question is, when he's aware, what will you see him doing?
Yeah, that's right.
It goes back to the request.
Oh, yeah.
Video.
It's always, I'll put it up here. I do that every week.
Yes, almost every week. When the other person is doing what it is that you need them to do, when they're aware,
Right.
what will they be doing? And
Sure.
give that a voice, make that request.
Yeah.
And this afternoon, I said to this lady, so I hear you're feeling sad, and I hear you're feeling lonely. So in the future, when you're no longer sad and lonely, what will your husband be doing?
Right.
And give that a voice so that he can say yes to it, no to it, or I don't know. Let me think about it. But you have to make it known.
Yeah. And tying that back into the number side of things, I'm thinking through that process and thinking about withdrawing because I'm terrible about that. I just assume withdraw, then make a big deal. So I'm thinking along the lines, okay, so I might be a 25, but then I withdraw and then I'm a 15 or a 10, or it doesn't really matter at that
No,
point.
it can't happen. You've got to recognize what your needs are, give it a voice so that the other person can possibly meet those needs for you.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good word.
Hey, I hope you liked our content. If you did, would you please subscribe? Because we both would really appreciate that.
Yeah, we need a new place to be. This room is just not going to work, but for so long.
That's right.
Ding that bell so you're notified of upcoming episodes.
Make sure to like it.
Yeah, share it with your friends.
Thanks, everyone.
Until next time.